Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Janani. Today's video is going to be about how to sand polymer clay pieces hassle-free by hand. For this, you do not need any fancy equipment or even sand pieces with so much effort. For this project, I'll be using 600 grit and 1500 grit sandpaper, rubbing alcohol, and some Q-tips. To get started, we need to clean the pieces before it's baked. I'm going to be using some rubbing alcohol and some Q-tips. I began by dipping my Q-tips generously in alcohol and carefully started cleaning the pieces. When you rub the Q-tip along the sides of the unbaked pieces, it smoothens the edges because the alcohol eats away the extra clay. Be extra cautious with your unbaked pieces so they won't be distorted. Using quality cutters can contribute to minimizing the sanding time as well. I like to personally get my cutters off from Etsy. I will link some of them down in the description box. I have seen some makers use nail polish remover, acetone as well. It could be a little harsh on your pieces sometimes. If you have bigger pieces of clay hanging, you can carefully use an X-Acto knife to cut it off. Also, this collection is made with the marble technique that many of you are familiar with. If you're not familiar with it, I'll link it in the description box so you guys can check it out. I continued smoothing the edges of all my pieces. Here are all the pieces cleaned and ready to be cured. I baked my pieces in the oven for about an hour in 275 Fahrenheit, and make sure you guys always use a thermometer. After the pieces were cooled down, I gave them a light sanding. Sculpey has their own sandpaper, or you can always get yours at a local hardware store like I do. I like to wet sand my pieces, which is why I add all my pieces in a bowl of warm water with a little drop of dish liquid. Starting with 600 grit sandpaper, I wrap the sandpaper around my index finger in an angle. Then I slowly sanded the edges, going up and down in motion. Make sure you're not putting so much pressure that it makes your hand hurt. Just let the sandpaper do its work. When I first began, I used to make this mistake where I just hated sanding so much. And since we removed most of the extras before baking, there shouldn't be much to sand. I like to cut small pieces of sandpaper to sand the inside and the corner of the shapes. Next, I use 1500 grit sandpaper to smoothen more, and if there were bits that I was missed from the previous steps. To clean up all the residue, I gave my pieces a final bath as well. You can see how easy this technique is and how clean the pieces look. This is perfect for any beginner or anyone that doesn't have an electric sander. It shouldn't be hard or complicated to hand sand your jewelry pieces. For this collection, I decided to go with UV resin to finish my pieces. This was my first time using UV resin, and I think it helped the pieces to pop a little bit more. I carefully poured some resin and used a silicone brush and a needle tool to spread them. And it's very embarrassing, my foolish self forgot to order a UV lamp, but thank goodness for the sunlight. I left the pieces for about an hour in a sunny window and got all the UV resin cured. Next, I drilled holes and added jump rings to finish my pieces. And And here's how the finished pieces look like. I just have to add the earring post, and these will be ready for my shop next year. I hope this video will help you guys with your projects. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you follow me on Instagram. I hope you guys have a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.